What if you cured heart disease? Start curing things. That's the American way you go about it too. All right, last question. So I got to give a graduation speech. I can't be late to.
Well, this is kind of a current thing that's happening, but I have a bigger reason for asking the questions. It's about the trade, the foreign trade.
Yes.
I read on your site that that was important to get that passed.
There's 3 trade agreements that could come up.
3 trade agreements, and after reading that on your site, and I saw that the holdup on it was because the Democrats wanted to put unemployment benefits on that, and shortly thereafter, I heard Harry Reid talking about how the Republicans are holding up this bill because they don't want to help these people that are going to lose their jobs. And I bring this up because I really, really would like to see the Republicans stand up and make their case. When Harry Reid said that, he just attached that onto one of his little news conferences, and he made the Republicans look bad, and we will never hear anything from the Republicans. I wish that you guys would stand up and be a little bit more like Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Just without the hair, right?
Yeah.
From the day I've been a Republican, it's always been the challenge. We're great on policy. We're just not the politicos that think about how you go out there. We can always improve that way. But kind of the core of what I fundamentally believe is because we care about policy. Policy matters. Now, I'm talking about 3 trade agreements that the way a trade agreement is, they get negotiated, and they have been negotiated before Obama came in. The president calls them up, then you have a certain number of days for them to pass. The president's been holding them up because he wants to renegotiate based upon union provisions. That's what the holdup is. Now, each trade agreement would say that it would increase 250,000 jobs. Now, why do you have a trade agreement? America opens up their markets to people. Other countries make these high tariffs, so our products, it's expensive to go in. These will lower, and we'll be able to sell them. One happens to be Colombia. Colombia is down, here we are in South America by Venezuela. Chavez does everything against our country. Colombia, Uribe, has turned this country around, loves America. It would be a very positive one. South Korea will move very quickly. Europe is all bound together. These countries are binding together. China's doing their individual agreement was in there. Look, we are in a competitive world. I believe this is the greatest country. As long as we're giving a level playing field, we can win. But when we're at a disadvantage, we're hurt. I always love watching the Olympics, and I'll root for everybody. I'll even root for a country, a small underdog, if they beat us. You know why? Because in the Olympics, in the 100-meter dash, we all start on the same starting line, we all finish on the same finishing line. So I like that. Good, it'd make us try harder. That's what we need. We need to be able to compete with these other countries and stop holding ourselves back from regulations, from our tax system. But as I said at the beginning, this is the year of the great America comeback. We saw all that. But Winston Churchill had it right. He said you can always count on Americans to do what's right after they exhausted every other option. We have done that. I don't know if some of you heard. I know I'm just starting my 3rd term. People say, oh, you're already whipped. You haven't done enough. But what I watched those last 2 years, the best way to describe it, have you all heard the story of the older gentleman that has a heart attack? He's 85 years old and he has a heart attack. He's married to his wife 60 years. He wakes up, he sees his wife. And you know, honey, you've always been there for me. Remember when we first got married, I got fired, you stayed with me. When I went out, couldn't find another job, so I had to join the Army, you joined the Nurses Club. When I got shot and wounded by my own men, you cared for me. We came home and had those 2 daughters, you raised them. I went out, became that entrepreneur that ended in bankruptcy twice, you stayed with me. Now here I have this heart attack, I wake up and who do I see? I see you. I'm beginning to think you're bad luck. But take a minute for what your government was doing. They were in a financial crisis, they were in a high debt, so they said they had to spend more to create a job. They went out and created a stimulus bill. I was deputy whip at the time, and I want to tell you what the battle we were in and what you see. I watched a country that's going to spend $1 trillion with interest. I watched them have a president, a 70% approval rate at the time, and he was threatened in every single Republican, we're going to run this campaign in your district because you won't help jobs. Well, we didn't sit back. We went and crafted our own bill. Press didn't write about it. You didn't know about it, but we did. I didn't get the final 2 votes to vote no from the Republicans until 30 seconds before that gavel went down. And we bound together, not because we wanted to poke this president in the eye, because we knew our policy and philosophy of the free market was stronger than his philosophy of bigger government. But everybody criticized him. By the time we got to the election, more people believed Elvis Presley was alive than the stimulus created a job. What that proves is, if we hold to our principles, if we hold to our Constitution, we will win in the long run. All I'm asking you is to stay with us as we make this battle. Join us. Now, I appreciate this opportunity. I'd like to be able to continue this on a regular basis. We'll find the time to be able to do it. I also want to start with this principle. We may not always agree, but I think we agree to where we want to get to. I will always listen. I'll always give you what I got, but look, I believe in continuing education. I can't have too many friends in this world. I'm just the guy that grew up in Bakersfield. His father was a firefighter, moved furniture on his day off. I look over at the Senate. The Senate is like a country club. Everybody over there is multi-million. The House of Representatives, it's like going to Perco's for breakfast, right? That's the way it should be, though. We're made of the people, and that's why every 2 years we can switch. So this is the best opportunity for me. So I just want to say thank you and God bless for having me.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. We live in a agriculture oil community. We need to drill now.
Yes.
We cannot depend on foreign oil. They have us by the neck. What are you going to be doing? I know you guys are working on green jobs, but we have the oil, we have the resources. Why aren't we doing that right now?
We have a number of bills that have moved the House to go after our resources. I actually just created a new committee. It's not a committee, but it's a group. It's called HEAT, the House Energy Action Team. It's just Republican members where we are set. We go and fight on the floor every time they come up to refute their arguments. We come on the floor to run our bills, and we produced a number of different bills onto the president. And once it came off the floor, the president that weekend said, "Oh, we need to drill more. I'm going to open up some more leases." So we're making progress, but we'll keep you in touch with that. And you can join on Facebook and follow the HEAT Action Team too.
It's called Heat Action Team on Facebook?
Yeah.
Okay.
If that's not the precise name, come to mine and it'll show you where to go. Thank you very much for having me.
Kevin, we have one present for you.
Sure.
Looking at the new map, we're going to represent. We're going to have an independent delegation.
Okay. Let me find out what I'm doing. But I'd love to come talk to you.
Good opportunity for you to come
All right,
and
meet
meet
you
some
out.
of your new constituents.
Okay, love to do that. Oh, yeah.
It's the last 2 votes that happened.
I'll look into that. Yeah. Let's go. Who has it? Hey, Ben, you got the camera?
Yeah.
Snap a quick one.
I'll get to you this afternoon.
Yeah. You don't look like you're in the bed.
All right.
3, 2, 1.
There we go. That's perfect.
Come on.
Oh, she's zonked. She's totally zonked.
The old lady needed for the Indian for the survival class.
Oh, high speed. Yeah. Okay, I'm opposed to government.